Recording live from Frieza Planet number 79, it's the Dragon Balls Deep Podcast.
We are here, and here is wherever we happen to be at the time. Welcome to the Dragon Balls Deep Podcast. My name's Devin, and I'm joined by Drew.
Hello.
So, how was your E3 week?
Good and bad.
Good and bad? What was bad?
Most of it.
Most of it?
Ubisoft, EA,
But
Nintendo.
But sometimes it's so bad it's good.
You would think, but some of it just wasn't.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely wasn't one of the better E3s.
I think some of it might have been. I think Microsoft had the best conference they've had in years.
Which isn't saying much.
I mean, true.
I still thought their conference was horrible. Most of the games they announced I wasn't interested in. The most interesting part of their conference really was the new studios they bought. But
yeah, or the new their Netflix thingy they're doing.
Netflix, oh yeah, the Game Pass.
Yeah,
that's a good idea, but it's a good idea if you love playing old games, which I kind of do. But
yeah, I do.
Not enough to buy an Xbox though.
I mean, I have one.
I have an Xbox 360. Can I get Game Pass on that since it's going to be playing Xbox 360 games anyway?
No, you just have to buy the games.
But yeah, what Sony did to the other conferences was just cruel and unusual.
I agree.
And I like how they prefaced it before, like weeks out from the conference. They're like, we're only going to talk about these 4 games. So like everybody knew like what to expect, and they still like blew everybody out of the water.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been better. Like the pacing and then like all the downtime.
Yeah,
like,
they made a few mistakes, but
when they were like switching venues from their little Last of Us tent.
That was more for the people at the conference. It wasn't really more for the audience at home, because I saw some video of people that were there and filming, and it was actually kind of cool what they did.
Yeah.
Everybody there thought it was pretty cool. But for the people at home, it was just kind of weird having an intermission. But we did get a little bit of Dragon Ball in that E3 with that one game. Do you remember what it was called?
I don't. The crossover game, yeah.
So I don't remember. Japanese Super Smash, or I guess Super Smash Brothers is Japanese, so that doesn't make any sense. But it was like anime Super Smash.
Yeah, sort of.
I was like looking at gameplay. Doesn't look very good. Kind of looks like that one game, the other Dragon Ball Z game, Xenoverse. Right. So I don't know how I feel about it. I probably won't buy it.
I probably won't either.
But yeah, it was a fun week. That was the first time I watched every single conference live. I just happened to be off work.
Yeah. I mean, I usually watch. I mean, if anything, I'll skip like EA.
Yeah, I did. Well, that's the only one. I kind of skipped EA. I caught the last half of it live, but
yeah.
And if I wanted to, I could have watched it live, but I was more concerned with getting food. And I wasn't wrong, because the first half of it was like FIFA and a bunch of boring shit.
Yeah, it was like sports and shit. What it usually is.
It was a filler press conference, much like this episode.
Oh, this episode.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be after your description last week.
I mean, there was a little more important things that happened, but still a lot of nothing.
Yeah, they kind of just jammed it all in at the end.
Yeah.
Cool, man. But started?
First, I have a correction.
Ooh.
The Scooby-Doo gang?
Yes.
They're called Mystery Inc.
Ah, that's familiar now.
It's like Murder Inc., but instead of doing the murders, they're solving them.
Yep.
Like the murder Ja Rule's career.
I don't get that. Murder Inc. Gotcha.
Yes, so that's all I have.
Nice.
I did look up Toriyama on Wikipedia, and apparently he's not an orphan, or if he is, then nobody knows about it.
I'm surprised, honestly. Figured he would have been an orphan. How much he likes to write about orphans.
Maybe it's like a fantasy of his.
Maybe. Or maybe he just watched too much Lord of the Flies growing up.
Oh, you've seen that movie?
Of course I've seen Lord of the Flies. I think I read the book.
Yeah, I think everybody has.
Cool.
Yeah, all I got. So, Dragon Ball Z episode 40. Kickoff. Deep in space. We see a floating balloon thing. Bulma is still tied up and being held at gunpoint. Orphans. Lots of orphans.
Space orphans.
I mean, we don't know that yet at this point, but, you know, I assume these are all orphans.
Why else would Toriyama have a bunch of children together with bandanas?
I mean, I don't know. Krillin and Gohan make a bunch of noises. Leader of the orphans, the orphan commander, comes in. I didn't bother to write any of their names down.
The orphan commander's name is Space Rufio.
Space Rufio. That's good. Names don't really matter because they're going to be gone here in a few minutes anyway. And then we'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Gohan begins to try and reason with these hostile strangers by telling them that they're friendly and that they're from the planet Earth. And here I wrote down, in any other universe, that probably would have gotten him shot right there on the spot.
Exactly.
And then just as I typed that, they start shooting at him.
Earth, the friendly planet.
I mean, I guess in this Dragon Ball universe, it's friendly.
It puzzles me how afraid of these guns they are. Like, there's been so many times they've been shot at in the series, and nobody's ever died.
I guess because it's so many of them, I don't know.
Even on their way to that spot, like, they went through that hallway and got shot by like a million guns, and nobody got hurt.
That's true. Who knows? Leader of the orphans tells them to shut up. Krillin tells Gohan to power up, so they do. A little girl with a stuffed monkey kicks Krillin in the shin.
Chico.
Yeah, exactly. One of the kids says that they should just kill them now because they're most definitely allies with Frieza. Commander Orphan says he's sorry and is about to shoot Krillin, but then something happens.
So is this the first mention of Frieza we get? I feel like King Kai might have mentioned him a little while ago. Am I wrong on that?
I don't think he ever said his name. Because I think they think he's trying to like keep Frieza like secret from Goku.
Yeah, I don't think he told anybody about Frieza, but I think he might have mentioned him by name. And if he didn't do it in the English, I'm pretty sure he did it in the subs, but I'd have to like go back and check, which I'm not going to do. But so yeah, I guess nobody knows who Frieza is. This is our first, or at least the Z fighters' first introduction to Frieza.
Yeah.
Which kind of like gives this episode a little more weight because you kind of find out like what kind of Frieza's capable of.
The ship begins to shake and alarms start going off. They've entered an asteroid field. I guess this is what happens when kids try to run a spaceship.
Exactly.
Or, I mean, it is space. It's bound to happen, I guess.
True.
Also, did you hear the alarm that was going off? It sounded like it was like made by a person.
Like a person like humming?
It was like a person going, woo, 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 woo.
Was it Ric Flair?
I hope so.
I didn't notice it.
Oh. I mean, I could be wrong. It just, it's happened in the past, like when they have like animal noises, you can clearly tell it's a person doing it.
Really? I never noticed that either. The only time you pointed out the spaceship noise. It's kind of funny. Or the space pod.
The space pod.
I think it was like Nappa's, or maybe it was when they come out of the pods.
Oh, right, and they're hovering and they're making the noise.
Yeah.
I missed that. Back on Earth, Goku is screaming as we learn his one true fear, needles.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I mean, it's a little cliche, the whole like being afraid of needles thing, but just the fact that it's Goku, makes it a little funnier.
I'm surprised they never had some kind of villain in the series where he had, needles or something.
Well, technically they did. Not until Super, but...
Who? Frost?
Yeah.
Oh, because he had the little needle thing?
Yeah.
Goku never was like afraid of him though, was he?
Well, you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It was like microscopic, but he did have a needle. And he did defeat...
I mean, you could have some guy
He beat Goku, right? And then he beat Piccolo? Or did he just beat Piccolo?
I think he beat Piccolo. Didn't Vegeta beat him though? Or did Goku?
Somebody beat... I
think Vegeta did.
Yeah, Vegeta beat him after he beat Goku and Piccolo.
Oh, he beat both of them?
I think he beat both of them.
Oh.
I don't fucking remember. I'd have to rewatch, but in my head, that's how it happened.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that one day.
Yeah.
But I just figured maybe they could get some guy like... I don't know.
Like the dude from Hellraiser?
Or like, maybe. Or I was going to say like Freddy Krueger in Dream Warriors when he has like needles for fingers.
I never saw that, of course.
You don't really have to say that anymore. It's pretty much assumed at this point.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi calls Goku pathetic. Back in space, Krillin and Gohan have managed to rescue Bulma and are attempting to escape. Gohan and Krillin have a change of heart and want to help everyone. Bulma, not so much. I mean, whose side would you take here? Do you help them or do you just fuck off?
I'd fuck off. For sure. I don't care about space orphans. Especially space orphans that are trying to kill you.
Yeah. That's true, I guess. But I mean, they did kind of, they're paranoid for good reason.
Well, why? I don't understand why the ship captured them.
Tractor beam.
But why though?
Maybe it's just does it.
It shouldn't.
Or maybe they planned it. They were like, "Oh, look, it's one of Frieza's men. Let's
let him onto our ship."
Yeah,
maybe. I guess I don't know.
They had all those traps and shit set.
I guess
they're kids. What do you expect?
I don't expect them to be flying a spaceship.
The ship is also on fire because, of course, it is. There's also an alien on board, and the basement's flooded, and they're out of food.
And Harry Dean Stanton's hiding somewhere.
He's looking for a cat.
Exactly. Yeah. R.I.P.
He's looking for shit rock. Bulma angrily wonders who was flying the ship, so she goes to see. Bulma kicks the kid out of the pilot seat and takes over. And apparently this ship is controlled via text because all Bulma does is start typing.
Yeah, it's controlled by mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Bulma's got really good, what's it called? Like the real-time strategy thing, like something's per minute. Like actions per minute.
Yeah. Or it's like those games where it's like, usually they're like mobile games where it's like, you have to type like sentences and then stuff happens on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's like how you fly the ship.
Yeah, I think the Koreans would be very impressive. Bulma's keyboard skills.
Racist.
It's not racist. It's fact. They're all about StarCraft.
That may be.
Trust me, I've been to Korean restaurants and they'll have like StarCraft like on the TVs in the restaurant.
Gohan and Krillin put out the fires using energy blasts because logic. Although Roshi did do this in Dragon Ball, so I guess it's a thing.
It's true. Ox
And
King's
Goku
house.
did too.
What fire did Goku put out? Oh, the one it was in like the last 5 episodes
Yeah.
of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I forget what that fire was. I vaguely remember though. Terrible episodes.
Bulma manages to steer the ship out of the asteroid field and to safety. And what did they get as thanks? More guns pointed at them. The kids say they still don't trust them because they're responsible for destroying their home planet. These kids still think that they work for Frieza because he's their homicidal, suicidal, genocidal best friend. One of the kids thinks that Gohan and Krillin are Bulma's brothers. Brother. Other brother from another mother, dude.
Oh, you beat me to it.
That was probably the funniest part of the whole episode, and it wasn't meant to be funny.
Yeah, and I also obviously didn't say that in the Japanese version. He just calls them barbarians, not brothers.
I like brother better.
I like brother better too. Sub versus dub. Dub wins.
Commander Orphan tells everyone to chill the fuck out, and that the Z Gang are not with Frieza.
Rufio.
Then we get a flashback of Frieza's men destroying everything. Actually, it's just Kui. He's like the bottom tier Frieza disciple.
I was going to ask you what his name was. I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, that's Kui. Also, this flashback kind of sucked.
Short for...
I don't know. What?
Kui, short for...
Am I missing something?
Nope.
Okay. But yeah, Frieza didn't destroy their planet. Kui did. Krillin asks Commander Orphan if any of the people who conquered his own planet had tails, but no dice. We get some more flashbacks about Frieza's men attacking. And then, as we already knew, we learned that the ship isn't actually cloaked. It's just covered in mirrors on the outside.
Makes sense.
Bulma calls this brilliant. I call it dumb.
It is kind of dumb.
It's very dumb.
Mirrors aren't... She says it has to be like some sort of like crazy technology. No, it's just mirrors.
And this would only work like deep in space.
Exactly.
Like this wouldn't work anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. I could tell just from the beginning. Like I rewatched that beginning scene a few times with the balloon thing.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's just mirrors because you can't see behind it.
Well, you could tell in the last episode because remember when they were flying towards it, they could see their ship.
That's true
reflected.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mirrors.
But even then, you would be like, why is there a reflection there? That means that there's clearly something there.
Or it's another dimension, dude.
Oh, shit. I didn't think about that. I guess that's a thing in this universe, too, so.
It is. Spoiler.
Ooh.
Did you...
Is that a spoiler? The Z-Gang head back to their ship, and everyone says goodbye, and laughs a lot for some reason. Commander Orphan overhears that they are going to planet Namekistan, and says that they passed it about 2 weeks ago, and if they just head in the direction of K5162, they'll make it in about 10 days. You and this kid would get along great.
Why?
Because he's all about shortcuts.
Oh, I do like shortcuts. It's an inside joke.
I know. No one will understand that, but...
Nope.
That's okay. Also, I noticed Bulma is very pale. It made me want to see Goth Bulma.
Yeah, she's always been pretty pale.
Like, I mean, she is all about the 80s, right? So...
Goth is like 90s Bulma.
Well, they had it in the 80s. It's like, you know, like The Cure and everything.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Maybe Bulma can start listening to The Cure a lot. And...
Oh, you should open up with a Cure song. I like The Cure.
Okay. I can do that, I guess.
I like how we get this dramatic Band-Aid removal.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
Super unnecessary.
He just throws it on the ground.
It doesn't make like you like the way he removes it. It's almost expected. It's like I don't know. There's more to it than there actually is.
Is there some like was anything said in the subs?
No, it's just really awkward and unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe. I mean, I guess it could be taken two ways. It's like his wound is healed, and we just happen to see him remove his bandage for no reason, or it's like like some kind of growth exposition.
Yeah, I don't know. The way he removed it, I was almost expecting there to be like no scar at all, and it's like, oh, he was lying about Frieza destroying their planet the whole time.
Oh, that swerve, brother.
But that wasn't the case, and it just didn't make sense.
I thought he was just like a fan of Nelly or something.
Like country grammar.
They get back to their spaceship, and Bulma puts in the coordinates to the shortcut and sets course for Namekistan. Somewhere else, deep in space, we see a ship. A pod. It's Vegeta. Vegeta approaches planet Frieza number 79, and everyone prepares for his arrival. They also wonder why there is only one space pod. I like these guys. They're concerned for Nappa. He must have been popular there.
There. Well, I mean, I think they were both pretty high ranking in Frieza's army. Because even it says in the subs when they're coming in, when they realize it's Vegeta, he's like, quick, go out there and greet them. Like, or something like that. So they definitely seem pretty important.
Yeah, I mean,
who's above them? Just the Gingy Force and Dodoria and Zarbon?
Zarbon, probably.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
That we know of, at least.
Yeah, that we know of, yeah. Vegeta's life force is reading low, and he's using his life support system. They rush him to the treatment center, which is a float tank.
Yeah. Made
by an old vertical float tank.
Made by Crash himself. Do you think
this is old, so this is like John Lilly technology.
You think they dosed Vegeta up with ketamine before they threw him in there?
Hopefully.
Makes the healing process much quicker.
So was John Lilly a Saiyan, or did the Saiyans steal his technology?
I think, yeah. John Lilly must have been a Tuffle.
Yeah, that's true. Then I was thinking about, how John Lilly used float tanks and tried to talk with dolphins and shit.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking like I don't know, Saiyans or Tuffles or something. Like one of the Tuffles invented a float tank to try and communicate with Bubbles.
Oh man, we're getting deep. I'm not in the right state of mind to have this conversation right now.
The lore just keeps expanding.
We'll write
have to write a whole manga series about Bubbles.
We'll earmark that thought.
The Z Gang are all asleep when suddenly earthquake. Krillin freaks out and wakes up Bulma, who calmly explains that the shortcut they're on takes them through a recently exploded nebula.
No big deal.
Yeah, this seems like, I don't know, not the best idea. It looks terrifying.
It does.
Like, it almost looks like they're in some kind of wormhole.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was pretty crazy. It reminded me of like
Dead Zone-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the ship starts tumbling around. Everyone goes flying. Bulma lands in Krillin's lap, and she wakes up and accuses him of rape. Gohan tries to explain, but it's too late. Krillin's life is ruined.
Oh man, Krillin got me too'd.
He did.
It was also kind of funny. Bulma's response to Gohan's explanation in the subs was, what did she say? She's like, you're a student of that old man turtle after all. So, makes sense.
Gohan isn't.
Well, I think she's talking to Krillin, but after, like...
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah,
but,
Krillin is.
Yeah. Would make sense, I mean.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Krillin just kind of keeps his, pinned up inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortunately for them, they conveniently arrive at Namekistan. Bulma is 100% sure of it. No questions asked. This is definitely Namekistan. So everyone gears up and prepares to touch down. Mr. Narrator sends us off. The end.
We did miss one thing. I forget when it was. It was either before they left or maybe right after they left. Bulma was talking about... Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me look through my notes. Something about maybe the orphans thinking that they were in Frieza's army. Or... Oh, that's what it was. It was, I think Krillin said something about the people destroying that planet. It sounded a lot like Saiyans. And then Bulma insisted, like, no, they said it was some other person named Frieza. And then Krillin, I think in the subs, he says that the Saiyans did have allies. So, Krillin is kind of, suspectful.
Right. Oh, no, I remember what you're talking about. Because in the dubs, like, Bulma's talking about how the Saiyans said that they're planet brokers, so that they must work for someone, like, above them. Something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a good mention, though, from the subs, that Krillin is skeptical, because I guess he knows that the Saiyans worked with other people other than other Saiyans.
Yeah.
And then I think right after that is when Vegeta lands on Frieza's planet, so it's like, his suspicions were confirmed that he's going to Frieza's planet. And they also mentioned in the subs that when Vegeta lands, that was 18 days after he left Earth.
Yeah. The pods travel fast.
Yep.
And because the ship that Goku takes is based on the Saiyan pod, so that's how he gets there in like 6 days.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Spoiler.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add other than pretty much Bulma getting them into another filler situation due to her rushing things. Because the orphans were about to mention fake Namek, I think, but
it's implied.
Yeah, but overall, I was happy with this episode. I mean, it started slow, 15 minutes of orphan bullshit, but there was more in the last 5 minutes of the episode than there was in the entire previous episode, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, more important things happened.
We get Vegeta's first moments, or our first look at the medical machine, I think is what they call it.
The float tank.
The float tank, exactly. It's a better name for it. I went to look up, because I'm like, I swear this thing has a name, and I looked it up, and I'm like, really? Medical machine? That was like what they came up with?
Yeah.
But float tank's much better.
Later on Namek, I think Vegeta calls it something.
I don't know, man. I looked pretty hard, and the only other thing I saw was something like a recuperation tank, but it said that wasn't mentioned on the show, though. That was like from a video game reference or something.
Okay. Well, in a couple of episodes, they put Goku in one, and I know Vegeta talks about it, so maybe he says something. After
the Ginyu fight.
Yeah.
Fucking orphans.
Hopefully we're done with them, but we're not.
Still a few more filler episodes, but we'll be at the good stuff soon enough.
We gotta get through fake Namek.
Indeed.
I don't remember fake Namek being very good.
I don't even remember fake Namek at all, so it's probably really bad.
Yeah, we could skip it.
Nope. We're the Dragon Balls Deep podcast. We go balls deep into every episode, not some of the episodes.
Okay, what if we combine the episodes?
I think you might have found a loophole.
I don't really want to watch a whole bunch of filler back to back.
Maybe we can mix in another movie or something to help ease the pain.
What is it? Tree of Might comes out around episode, I think, 50, 51.
We're getting there.
So in like the next 10 episodes or so, we can do that movie.
We might get the Tree of Might this year, dude.
I think there's 10 weeks left in this year.
At least. On that note,
follow us on social media at DVD Pod. Like, rate, download, subscribe, all of the above. And as always,
tune in next time for another exciting episode of the Dragon Balls Deep Podcast.